We call this meeting in order. Let the minutes approve the agenda for September 9th, 2025. This time, if you would please, silence your cell phones, if you would please. And this time we'll stand up for the pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for the day. We thank you for this amazing weather you've given us. We thank you for this community that we serve. And we thank you for the people in it. We pray that the work that we do would positively impact our lives and carry out your will. God, we pray over our first responders, our military men and women, and our law enforcement officers that they protect us at home and abroad. Pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
I've been bear with me a little bit. I'm struggling with some bronchitis stuff. So, I need a motion to approve the minute for August 26th, 2025. Motion by Scott, second by Clay. All in favor say aye. Budget transfers. Motion by Benji, second by Clay. All in favor say aye. Invoice approvals.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Scott. Second by Benji. All in favor say aye. Okay, next on the agenda is for the county playground replacement stuff at the county. There is some bids that you all seen and everything. So I guess we need to move forward with that. Do you have any questions or anything, Matt?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
No, I don't have any questions. So we had three options to choose from. So this is for both playgrounds at County Park. So the one by the pickleball, tennis courts, and then the one over by the batting cages and the baseball complex.
Yeah,
right?
each quote will be to replace the playground structures, and then with that, it does not include the pour-in-place, but we can do the pour-in-place in a phase 2. We can apply for the Crumb Rubber Grant next year. I think it opens up in February. I think I got an email yesterday on it, February, so we can go for that. So if we want to do Crumb Rubber like we did at KSOC, we can go for that next year.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to make a motion to go ahead and proceed with option 3. We have budgeted $250,000, I believe, for improvements. It says $200,000. I think it offers some opportunities to do some things with the borders and clean those up a little more. And I think the only thing would be, there might be one or two items out there we still wish to keep, so we kind of need to do an inventory. And I know they proposed moving the kind of the jungle gym, that whatever they call that dome thing.
Yeah.
Keeping that, but that was my motion.
I'll second the motion.
And then, real quick, at the bigger site, got that kind of weird, kind of rectangular square that comes off. They also propose to get rid of that, hanging off of it. That way, we're not doing a pour in place on that little square.
Yes, yeah, I agree.
So, yeah, that would be kind of moved out there too.
Okay, got a motion on the floor for option 3 in the playground at County Park. Do I have a second? Benji, second. All in favor say aye. All opposed.
Just one thing on that, I guess, Judge, and I know you're probably still getting caught up on email. I was involved in an exercise that they had done at the high school. Kevin States, who's a teacher there, had done a program with, 40 or 50 seniors to look at opportunities within the community to enhance parks and rec and some of those type of things. So they had to design a playground, they had to design that, or miniature golf and stuff. So maybe it might be, because they had, and then they had a showcase last week and it was really good. I mean, the kids, I had a chance to talk to them. Kids understand even in high school the value of playgrounds. They did go to Camp KSOC to see the new one. They went to General Butler, to look at opportunities there. So if we can maybe incorporate a couple of those kids into helping, I know we gotta choose colors and some of that type of stuff, but, I mean, they have some great ideas. Really good at, talking to them, so I don't know if that's something we can do or not.
That'd be good to involve schools.
I think, and I'm not for sure if it was Kevin or somebody else from that organization talking about that, doing things out to like Cassock Park,
Was it Jeff?
County Park, it might have been Jeff, come to think about it. And I said, that's a good thing, but we need to come and sit down and discuss exactly what y'all wanna do. And if it's a school function, we gotta make sure, if I'm not mistaken, that we have coverage and everything for that, right, Nick?
Yeah, we have coverage for the volunteer, for the community service people. But we're limited to so many per year that I can have on the roster. So we'll just have to see how many we have, and if we have to coverage, it's not that.
And I know Jeff, I haven't talked to Jeff, because he was at this showcase as well, so we did speak to that, so this will be a separate initiative, but absolutely support that, because that's, again, keep these kids involved in their community, so.
Okay. There's a quote in your packet for the radio tower, generator for the radio tower from Mount Hill that we're installing. I think we need approval to go forward with that.
I'm gonna make a motion to approve that. What this is basically a backup generator.
It's LP.
Yeah, it's LP gas, yeah, to support our new radio tower we're putting up and support Mount Hill.
Motion by Scott,
I'll second.
second by Clay, all in favor say aye. Opposed? The gator guard flooring at the animal shelter, Nick, did you come up with anything on that at all
Yeah, Judge, we need to discuss that in executive session.
today?
Yes.
Okay, next on the agenda is the bid opening for a power stair chair and impact, 35 monitor defibrillator and EMS. Do we have any bids for that? Need a motion to open them bids.
Second.
Motion by Clay, second by Scott. All in favor say aye. Opposed?
So Mike, is this for one ambulance, one unit, or whether that is?
Two.
For 2 units, okay.
Mike, if you will remind Stryker that we are Carroll County, not Jessamine County, nor Ohio County. That needs to be revised.
Yeah. I will do that.
Okay. Bottom line, grand total $226,093.56. Price is good for 30 days. That's on all equipment, including trade-in tolls of $11,000.
So is this outfitting 2 of the older ambulances then, or is this a new one, or I guess?
It's just outfitting updating our stair chairs.
Okay.
Our line.
Because they were the ones that were essentially, they said they were beyond their service life and all of that.
They've been on 10 years.
Yeah. Yep. That the only package. That's all that we have. I'll make the motion to approve that, accept that bid. Accept the motion review. Yeah. So,
Motion by
yeah.
Scott. Any second? Second by Clay. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Next, we have several of these, I believe. The bid opening on the track loader for the road department. Need a motion to open the bid.
I make the motion.
Motion All in favor say aye. Opposed?
First bid is from McCoy Construction, like a John Deere 2020 333G compact track loader, bid price $86,450. Second bid from McCoy Construction for a John Deere 2020 331G. Bid price for that track loader, $78,450. McCoy Construction on a 2023 333G. $97,450. McCoy Construction on a John Deere, looks like a 2025 331P. Total bid $103,445. Move it like that. This is from Wright Implement, Shelbyville. This is for a brand new John Deere 333P. It's a special order item. Total bid price $102,282.72. Then by the envelope, this is from Wright Implement again. For a brand new John Deere 331P compact track loader. Total bid price $91,721.63. Wright Implement again. This is for the used John Deere 333G compact track loader. $84,171.82. That is a 2021. This is for a used John Deere 333G.
Is that the right?
That's from Wright, I apologize. Yes, 2021 model. Total price $75,476.16. This is from Bluegrass Diesel. This is for the VT320 track loader. Carroll. Okay. Total price $93,654.18. Everything I look to see looks to be new. No year on it. I'm certain it was a new unit. Wilson Equipment. Let's see. Purchase price of a new Blue Diamond 96-inch HD dozer blade attachment plus the Takuchi TL12V2 CRHR high flow rubber track loader, $97,932 is the total bid price. So that includes the attachment. and Wilson Equipment. This is for a new Case TV 450B track loader with the attachment $94,032. From Bobcat Enterprises out of Walton. That's the range. Let's see, this is for T770 T4 Bobcat compact track loader. Quote total $84,669.54.
Is that new or?
And this is a new one.
Yeah, it is new.
This is for Black Equipment. This is for 270T NA, 270T compact track loader NA series. JCB. We got $87,683. That's all it is.
Well, my recommendation would be to have our road department, Dino, Brian and Jimmy go look at and review these and come back to us and make sure they're all compatible with what they want, what they need.
Did all these bids, I was going to have to write up on it, did that include the dozer blade with that package? Okay.
Yeah, they were all on there, that's pretty cold.
Yeah. But we do need to make sure they all are in conformance with the bid.
So I guess decision being made at the next meeting, I guess that's the way.
That's what I would do, is I have your road department supervisor and staff review the bids, make sure they're in conformity with the bid specification. If there is a reason that they choose a model that is not the lowest bid, it better be the best bid, and justification is why we're not going to go with it.
You guys good with that and everything?
Yeah.
Dino?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I guess I'll make a motion to table for the next meeting.
I want to say that way we can do that.
Yeah, so, okay. Motion by Dewey, second by Clay, all in favor say aye. The motion is to, table this on the bid for the track loader until next meeting, second meeting this month. And for review by the county road department staff. Everything, the next on the agenda is acceptance of the proposal for the surplus list. There's two lists there, one's including the dump truck and the tractor, and the other one is not. I say if we pick the one with the dump truck to get rid of the dump truck, we need to put a seal bid on that.
Good, can you add an office table and at least one office, one but two office chairs for my office as well?
One table with two chairs.
So I guess, I got a couple of questions. First of all, are there not, and I may have overlooked them, so apologies for that, but isn't there like a red Dodge?
That belongs to the sheriff's department.
So that's still there?
It does not belong to the sheriff's department. It's not forfeited to the sheriff's department. The Commonwealth's attorney, when they did this, they did not forfeit it. It has been in-house at our road department under impoundment person has never come and picked it up or paid their fees for storage, so we're gonna have to go through the process like we did on the last set and sue them for the storage fee and put the lien on the car and take the car.
Okay, so it's
So
not,
you can handle that?
Yes,
Take care of
I'm
that
gonna
for
do
you.
that, because that was
Thank
not
you.
in the forfeiture item, that's something that's at the circuit court level.
so I guess the question on the dump truck would be, do we actually know what's wrong with it? I mean, I know this is a truck that we've put a lot of money into, but what I heard was it started blowing smoke that hadn't power, and we basically pushed it in the back of the building and haven't used it since. So where are we at with that?
There is something to do with electronics on it, but what I've been told is feeding it too much fuel and it clogs up the filter, where it doesn't run correctly. And once they change that back out again, then it'll run good for a while. So there's something mechanical or electrical in there that's just not been, if I understand that right. Is that correct, Gene? That's correct, no?
Now, who's given us that diagnosis? I mean, do we just assuming that, we've done, I mean, who's?
That's our maintenance people and, yeah. Our maintenance.
This dump truck, does it have a regen system on it?
I mean, I guess I'm just, because I know the next question will be when we get another truck. So that's, if we go the route we did with the F-750, that's 125. So I'm just trying to figure out where this is at, because this truck, is there any chance again if we took it to a competent mechanic?
We've had it to 2 or 3 different mechanics and we've had it done. Yeah, when we've had it to them, they brought it back, it's run good. Gino, Jimmy, and Brian can probably give you the history on this thing. But where it's run good for a while, and all of a sudden, bam, it's back to the same way it was.
Sounds like every time we send it in, we're spending $15,000 to $20,000.
And we spent $30,000 on it one time, I think so.
Oh, yeah, we did the math. I didn't know if it's worth another $1,500 or something to take it out to South Run or something, have them take 1 month to look at it.
Get $1,500, yeah, but I don't know.
But, well, I mean, if you set a limit, because I guess, again, we're gonna have to invest in another truck, so that's probably a minimum of 50. If we get another F-750, that's 120,000. This truck's a low mileage truck. It's got a history, I understand that. And I know it needs a bed. So I'm just trying to weigh out, because this truck, if you put it up for auction, its condition is not gonna bring 5,000. I mean, so.
So we can actually, we can put a limit on it as far as, the truck itself goes, it won't work more than it should, we don't have to sell it.
Yeah, I mean, so what's the proposed limit?
That's something we would have to sell it ourselves, I don't think we put it out there, but we
Well, it's not minimum.
Yeah,
we can ask for it, yeah.
Yeah, I think the minimum is public knowledge.
I mean, if you look at the truck is a 2012 model, so
I know we put awful lot of money and stuff in to kind of get rid of it now and whatever, but there's gotta be something not major, minor, just keeping this, and people just haven't found it.
Well, I mean, I just recall last April and May, when we were having a conversation with the folks in Louisville, that it's not UHL anymore, whatever their outfit name is now, Jimmy, I don't know if you remember that. We weren't very pleased with their competency. Number one was communication, I mean, just a lot of things. So to me, that doesn't necessarily qualify as a competent, outfit.
Well, let's talk to South and see if they can diagnose it, see if we can do something.
Well, and again, I'm not looking to spend $10,000 on this truck, probably, with somebody.
We wanna do a minimum of $5,000 on,
Do a minimum of $1,000 to diagnose it, and a minimum of 3,000 or something, 500 to fix it. If they don't take care of it, then
That
ship it.
goes on the auction block.
Yeah.
I would support that.
You mean maximum on those?
Yeah, no more than 1,000 for
So
diagnosis.
we're gonna remove that off of the surplus list and just.
okay.
Are we wanting to keep the Ford tractor on that surplus list?
Yeah, I mean, that, you guys have, made the decision you're just not using it anymore, that you're removing. So, yeah, we're not using something.
Okay. Motion to take dump truck off. Okay. Motion by Benji, second by Clay, all in favor say aye. All opposed? And that we'll move forward with our surplus list. In adding one table and 2 chairs to that from the county attorney's office.
I move to approve the surplus list.
Got a motion to approve surplus list without the dump truck. And second by Scott. All in favor say aye. Just an informal thing here is that the group, the 3CDC, would like to sit down with the magistrates and the judge and the magistrates on they'd like to have a work session basically with them, with the group from 3CDC, with the magistrates sometime or another. I told them I would bring it up to see what the magistrates want us to do. If we did that, then we would probably at a later date set a date when we can have that work session. So what's your opinion?
I don't have a problem. I think it's good. Need to sit down and see what we got going
I
on.
have no definite date.
If we will, get it done, come up with.
Yeah, come up with a small window or something, and then 20 hours.
So is everybody in favor of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll work with them, so try to get a date that's available for everybody, and then we'll bring it up in the next meeting.
Yeah.
Have a proposal in your packet, should be from quote for finishing up the sheriff's office down there with the glass front, and then there's 2 proposals, should be in your packet there, one from Jackson Unlimited. The other one is from Apache Glass. The one for Glass Unlimited is the lowest one.
Yeah, and it seems adequate. I'm gonna look up this old castle, that's good stuff. I mean, so I'd say go with the lesson.
So motion to take
Last one.
absolutely. All in favor say aye. In discussion on the road adoption for Park Acre Road. Gino, do you have some history on that? I know we have been taking care of this road for years. With salting and whatever, and I think they've even been a couple of culverts put back there. But it actually has never been adopted in the county road system. So Gino and I don't know who else with them went out and looked at it. But we've been maintaining that road for several years for some reason or another, but it was never put on the county road list. So anybody got any questions? Can we go ahead and we need to adopt this road into our county road system? And that's a request from one of the landowners out there, Mr. Cersei, or the Cerseis, let's put it that way.
Yeah, according to county road specs.
That's, Gino, what did,
It's my understanding it was not.
okay,
Is it?
Gino,
It should be, yes.
I know they did some extra work out there, and that's been over a while back, but
Because it has to be according to our specs and according to state specs for compromises our municipal road aid.
right.
So,
We have to core really,
taken into our inventory, it has to be according to spec.
you have to core really to see how much asphalt you got on it.
So do you want to table this to the next meeting, or?
Probably so.
The width and everything has to be appropriate.
Okay,
We work with the plat for the subdivision, Gino, to make sure there's adequate easement in there
for the road as well.
I'll make a motion table to the next meeting.
Okay.
So I'll second that, and other than that, I support the full.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do need to make sure that it meets our specifications. If it doesn't, then we forward it to the other county road we've got.
Well, yes.
Okay. Motion to table.
Yeah, that's something we do on that too.
All in favor of that? All opposed? Right. Well, in your packet too, or we put in there this morning on your desk, on your mat here, that, we have to do an appointment for the Carroll County Library. You have two names there listed. That has to be approved by the fiscal court. There's two names there, both of them are outstanding citizens, and would be good for the board. And this term is to expire on 6/30/27. And this is due to the resignation of one of the board members from the Carroll County Library Board of Trustees. And they've submitted two names. So you have the names in front of you. One's Ruth Ann Hendrick, and the other one's Carolyn Williams. So
What's your recommendation, Judge? It's your appointment.
my appointment is I would put Ruth Ann Hendrick as being a member. So.
Yeah, I mean, both of them, I think would do a great job, so I can support that. So make a motion to select your nomination.
Kaylee, I know we had to send something to the library on that. Thank you. Other comment I have to bring up, and this might have been put in your basket or on you this morning. The annual downtown flu shot clinic will be held on Thursday, September 18th, from 1 to 4 p.m. at the First National Bank in Kentucky Community Room, sponsored by the bank and Carroll County Memorial Hospital. If you decide to do that, you need to bring a copy of your driver's license and a copy of your insurance card. So that will be Thursday, September 18th from 1 to 4, First National Bank. County attorney comments, unfinished.
Judge, the only question I have is a couple meetings ago, I believe it was, the court voted to retain Valerie Hines as an HR consultant, and we had a meeting set up. That meeting was canceled, so I need to know, since I'm not a point person here, what am I to tell Ms. Hines? Are we moving forward with this agreement, or is the county now deciding to cancel the contract?
I would at this time support canceling the contract and let our in staff with Matt or in working on towards this, and then we do everything he's doing and doing all the legwork on all these point of views with our work ethics and our job descriptions and all like that. So that's my concern. I think sometime along the line that we might need a permanent or somebody, HR, somebody in here to look at all this. My point of view right now is to move forward with Matt, not the contract. So it's up to you. The manager's got any comments on this?
Yeah, I'm opposite of that. I continue to support it. There's no HR professionals. We've got a lot of great people, smart people in this building, but we don't have HR professionals. This has been something that's plagued the county for years. I'm not opposed to getting experts, consultants in to help us solve difficult problems. So I continue to support moving ahead with the contract. I'll leave it at that.
I'll support moving ahead with the contract as well. And I think this has been a long battle that needs to be taken care of. I know we've, kind of blinked and 2.5 years has gone by. I don't feel like we've made much. Feel, Matt and the other way can work together and get it done and need to get it done. So.
Yeah, and maybe you use them a little bit less. We try to do a little bit more, but at the end of the day, I think their input is incredibly important to having an end product that you feel comfortable with and is going to stand up against the complex HR world that we face today. So.
Part of the contract is for Ms. Hines also to mentor our staff and to guide them and help them become more HR savvy and continue what they need to do. Clay, what do you think?
Well, I'm a little reserved on getting it. I think it's a lot of money to make out to have it done this time. And I really don't say I'm all opposed against it, but I think it was just done on a time thing. She's here to pay, which is not, we don't.
That's right.
So what we're doing is
We're paying for what we get. That's right.
So we're not paying a lot of money at one time. We're just paying whatever counseling fees that she,
Right.
has while she's here.
So the first proposal was to do the job descriptions that we've needed done for well over 10 to 12 years now. Our job is also to go through our manual to make sure there's not any holes or any problems or any updates that need to be made. For the first one to tell you, I'm not an employment lawyer. That's not my specialty. Ms. Hines is very well trained and been in that industry for decades at this point in time. She's probably slapped for saying that. But she's very good at what she does. And so if there's a gaping hole in our HR manual that should be resolved, then she's going to bring it to our attention and let's get it fixed. And part of that also is assisting our staff to train them because, quite frankly, that's not really a position we've had. And it's to help them to handle situations. We've had our fair share of situations over the years with as many employees as we have. I mean, it's no wonder we haven't had more. But HR is a very specific skill set that needs to be. We're one of the largest employers in the county, outside of industry. So we have to be cognizant of those things, and it is always changing. That's the only reason I even brought the proposal to the table, and it was not to take someone's job or to take away their job responsibilities, but to help them and to help the county, because at the end of the day, if all goes wrong with HR, I'm the one that's standing here having to defend our actions and defend what we've done. And we pay a lot of insurance and stuff to try to keep from happening, but the best insurance we can have is to have our ducks in a row to begin with. And we've been told time and time again when we've had issues by other council that what plagues us is not having properly and well-written job descriptions. And I know that some have been written, but with all due respect, not a single job description has been brought before the fiscal court in accordance with the policy manual or the ordinance to be approved. So we need to get that cleaned up. And as counsel for the fiscal court and counsel for the county who is charged with guarding the fiscal resources of this county, I think if we don't get this cleaned up, then quite frankly, we're derelict in our duties. So, well said. But the motion has already been made, it's already been voted on, and to move forward with Ms. Hines. If you all want to change that, I just ask you to go ahead and change it so I can advise her and we'll move on a different way. But
So basically, we got a motion on the floor right now to go move forward with it.
there's no motion needed.
Okay.
The contract's already been voted on.
Okay.
You need to make a motion if you want to kill it.
But it's to the manager's favor that they want to move forward with HR. Okay.
Thank you. The meeting rescheduled.
I can have.
That's a good explanation, Nick, and I appreciate that. We'll start with the master's comments. Nick, do you have anything else? I'm sorry.
No, sir. I'm good. Thank you.
Master's comments, and we'll start with Benji, please.
Just want to say, thanks for, working to make sure we get fixed and all that, contacting state and that, let's see here, and that's all I have to do.
Okay. Benji, I think there's been some concern on 36 down by Nugent with some trees and stuff. Has anybody done anything down on by Nugent with those trees, anything that you know of right now?
I know the state towards Trumbull County has done a little bit.
But they was coming this way. So.
Yeah, but they've stopped. That was.
Yeah, that's on Trumbull County. So, okay. I just wondered if they done any more down there.
There was some in Carroll County, but they haven't come all the way up to Newton at this point.
Okay.
More like the Fern Hill.
I know it's in the plans to do some of that, so I just I didn't know. Not to take away from anything, this was in my comments, and I didn't see it. So one thing is that the electric bridge out on 36 and going into Sanders is under construction right now, so just have to be safe going out that direction right now. So they have started working on it, State Highway Department has. Clay, have you?
Yeah. I want to thank the road department for being out there at the bottom of Jackson Hill and Wilson Coast, doing a little lighting on the road. You guys did a great job on it, Michael. I really appreciate it. Appreciate everything you all do.
Okay. I know Scott has a presentation here about Stafford Bridge, if we'd like to do that now.
Thank you, Judge. A couple of things, questions first of all. I read in, we've got Mr. Campbell here, so I read in the newspaper that was issued on Friday that the Attorney General approved the drug task force, and then there was, I think, a Sheriff, Henry County Sheriff Perry was alluding to the fact this is moving forward. So I was just wanting an update. Are we still rolling with that?
We are still involved in that. I talked to Keith, Cleveland County Sheriff, about 2 weeks ago. We are still moving forward with that. There was some conflict between everything, but we are moving forward with that. So I told him we still are into it for the amount of money that we moved early on, and he's planning on having a couple more meetings, at least one more meeting to bring on everything back to life on it.
So what did Old County decide? They didn't
No. Okay. I'm not going to answer that because I really don't know the exact.
Fair enough.
Some conflict there and concerns, so they got that.
Well, I appreciate the update on that. That's great. That was what, I think we committed 40,000. 47. Just a quick reminder too, because it's an important day here in the community, but PMC hosts the Chemical Collection Day every fall. That is this Saturday, which starts at 8 o'clock. So, PMC asks they allow you to bring in electronics, and they have a trailer. It's a great system. If you've never been there, but if you've got stuff lying around the house, go black and white TV that no longer is needed. The sun, you take that up there, and then also they do document shredding as well. So if you get a pile of documents, they will load it up into the shred truck right there. I told my wife I was taking a box, and she was all worried that they were going to go through. I said, no, they don't do that. They throw them in the truck right away. It had to make her feel better, but yeah, poor thing there. So one other thing before I get into the presentation here, and it kind of goes back to the whole thing with the consultants. We had put into the the budget for this fiscal year, $50,000 to get some engineering consulting on dealing with our road slides. So think about shoe fly, Bendigo North. We've got some places on, we've got some ridge. Black Rock continues to have some issues other than the obvious one. So I just wondered how we're gonna move forward with utilizing this bucket of money and consulting, getting some folks in here. I will note that Trimble County next door, they actually did a proper bid submittal for packages. They had 3 specific locations, and they're looking for bids, you know, on how to approach that, which is another potential issue or another potential means of addressing that. But you know, it continues to be something that really.
Well, I've had an engineer company that came in and talked to me last, and it's probably been 3 or 4 weeks ago now since, and they are a new firm that's out of Indiana, and they would like to come over and do consulting work with us and look at some of this stuff. One is Jackson Ridge up there, and look at this and put something together for us so we can move forward with that. So I just haven't gotten back to them, and me being out last week and the week before that didn't help none. So, but I will move forward with that crew and with them and talk to them about.
Well, can we get maybe 2 other companies to talk to? I mean,
We can.
I mean, it's probably worth
Yeah.
talking to a few different firms and then figure out how we want to do that. And I guess depending on what we're looking at, whether we have to formally put it after this, we have 40,000.
The engineering itself?
Well, just, yeah, we allotted $50,000 for consulting.
Right, but I'm pretty sure engineering would fall under professional services.
Okay.
So you better bet would be to do an RFP and have them come make a presentation. Look over their CV and look over their references and contact references to make sure they are reputable, because not all engineers, architects are created equal.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I think the other thing, too, I mean, we probably need to develop a list of locations we want to work on. I work with Gino and whatnot, but pick, you know, one in each district or whatever, but so we're not in that, so we probably need to get that done sooner so David, as he's having this conversation, okay? Yeah, so I'm gonna spend just a moment or 2 here, yeah, I've got it here, I'll send it to Nancy. To speak to something that I'm passionate about, and I'm just gonna go into it here, so. Okay, but a proposal to widen Stafford Ridge Road, and you say why Stafford Ridge Road? Again, taxpayers, and I hear this quite often when I'm talking to constituents out there. One of the most important things that they have in their mind is roads, and that's pretty obvious. We all use them, whether you're in a school bus, whether you're in a patrol car, whether you're going to the grocery store, whatever. We all use them, and so folks talk about a lot of that. And when I talk about improved roads, I'm not just talking about putting on a fresh coat of asphalt, because we do that. We all like to drive down that new slick asphalt. We came back from Shelbyville last night on 71. We got that slick, it looks like glass. Man, that's nice and smooth. We all like that, but at the end of the day, improvement means something more than just doing that. We've got a lot of roads. We just talked about Park Acres Road. A road got paved at some point in time, and I can guarantee you, we didn't have specs. We still don't have very good specs on how we build roads and whatnot, and so we have a lot of roads that are real narrow, and we have increasing traffic. So Stafford Ridge, the reason I chose it specifically was because it is a road that's 12.5 feet in a lot of locations, 13 in others, and the curve it'll go to 15 feet. And if you just do the math, that's not wide enough for 2 vehicles, is it, Michael? No. There's quite a bit of things going on, Mr. Riley. I appreciate your investment up on the hill and stuff, and quite a few new houses going up there. That's what we want. We want to see this county grow in a responsible manner. But with that comes a little bit of pain. Pain in terms of dealing with roads and stuff. So basically, when I went through and did the list for the budgeting process that we went through in the spring, I submitted a request for $300,000 for District 3, and that actually, I was going back through my notes, included $40,000 for a parking lot improvements at the county park. So technically, District 3 got robbed a little bit, even though that's in District 3, but we won't get into that. And I included $150,000 for Stafford Ridge, basically about 1 mile of widening. Typically for a road that's about 13 to 14 feet, it's usually about $70,000 a mile to do just 1.25 to 1.5 inches of overlay. So I basically doubled that, saying, okay, what's it gonna take? Because we gotta widen it in a responsible manner. Again, Stafford Ridge, it's 2.65 miles. The majority of it, probably every bit of 2 miles, and we've got quite a few folks. I really appreciate the fact that you came out this morning. Can validate quite a bit, but needs paving. I mean, there's a lot that's got the alligator cracking along the sides, failures on the edge. And again, because these roads were likely gravel at one point. We talked about this, and at some point we put asphalt on them. And we've got some places that really need some immediate attention. You guys that live on Stafford Ridge know where these are at. This is a new one because, again, we've got a new house going up, and guess what? Lots of dump trucks coming in and stuff because they're moving things around, and these roads were not built for truck traffic. These roads here are 12.5 feet wide. So proposal for this timing would be, again, spring of 2026 sometime, in that paving season. County used to always pave in the fall. This year we'll be doing fall paving just because of the Hinkle issues. But last year we actually got ahead of the game. We did quite a bit in the spring, which was nice. But basically the whole idea here would be we take the existing road bed, which again, we have no idea. Gino talked about maybe doing core samples out there on Park Acre out there because we don't know what's under there. Let's take a backhoe and dig or do a core sample. We really don't know what's under there. We don't know what the layer of asphalt is, where that road's really coming apart. We could probably start to kind of figure it out. But I don't know, Gino, you guys have been around. Jimmy, has that road ever been paved? I know some of you have lived out there. I mean, Kelly's probably longer than anybody. When was the last time that road was paved?
I know it's been since we've been there, but
And how long has that been?
I've been there 30 years, so 20 years ago probably.
Okay, so long time.
Maybe longer than that.
Yeah. So a long time, which is actually pretty good. But again, that road hasn't had, it's not a lot of folks on there. I think somebody made the comment, it used to be that you would never run into anybody, but now it's pretty routine that you're running into people. Not literally, obviously, right? So the idea would be obviously to widen this road. You can't just go ahead and lay asphalt in the grass, right? And we talked to Gino, you can't just run a little bit of rock outside and put it over the top of that. You want to build a base because we want these roads to last. So the idea would be, and again, don't get too caught up in details here, but we would basically have to excavate a trench on the side. We'd have to fill it with some dense grade to get that base, just like if you're building a new road. And then you would come in with some asphalt on top of that. You would get it up to the level of the existing road deck. And then basically you would overlay the whole thing. Okay, so you guys can kind of understand. So that's kind of what we're looking at. So it's not a hard job, but it's a difficult job because there's quite a few steps, and it's not something we've done before as a county. My proposal, and I shared this with Gino. Gino and I have been out there once, maybe twice, looking at stuff. We were just out there, I think it was the week before last, looking at things pretty closely, took a lot of notes. So again, kind of trying to stick with a mile concept. And again, we're looking over 2 miles. It would be to start roughly at the Smith property here. We've got a bad culvert here that needs to be replaced. So I kind of just came on the other side of that, Gino. We can negotiate that. But again, there's culverts that need to be replaced here as well. But you can kind of see where you're at. I think Bart, you're right here. So it comes around a little bit farther. Again, it's not all of it, but I'm looking for a concept here. Let's prove it, see what we can do, what works, what doesn't work, and then we can move forward. So that would be the proposal for a mile here of roadway. This recognizes that some places we can't widen. I mean, you've got a drop-off on one side of the hill, and I think most people understand that. You're not going to have the liberty of having a 4-lane highway, and you don't want that either, right? So this one might be, you have 16 feet quite a ways, and then narrows to 13 feet for a little ways and stuff, but it certainly would help. Obstructions, obviously, there's a few challenges. Water lines, again, I've talked to multiple people, and I have talked to Obi. Water lines, we believe, probably won't be a major issue, but we've got to confirm it. And there may be some places that it is an issue. And you can't put asphalt over the water lines, okay? So there's going to be some challenges there. Mailboxes, there's a few there we may need to relocate, to move. Idea would be try to do all the work on one side of the road versus both sides. You know, there might be some places you got to peel a foot or so off one side or the other just because that's the way the geography is. Obviously, there's some culverts that would need to be extended. And I think, you guys, before you do pave, you have to go out and take an inventory of your culverts, because you don't. So the last thing you want to do is pave a road and find out, dang it, that culvert was bad and I should have replaced it. So there would be some of that. So again, that type of stuff would be done with paving anyway, so not a significant cost added there. So cost, this is where it gets kind of challenging. So what does it cost to do a foot or a mile? And the answer is simply don't know. I mean, I've spent quite a bit of time talking to Josh Wright. Ingles doesn't seem interested in it in any shape or form. So there's lots of ways to do this. I mean, you could take, I think Gino used to work for OVA back in the day, and take a grader blade with a spade on it, kind of plow out that, when you do that. You could use a mini hoe. I mean, I've looked online that some folks do that. There's also, you can get a milling machine to just run along there and put it into a truck. And there's a lot of ways to do this, but what's the best way? What's the most efficient? Those type of things. So that's a little ambiguous. So there's a couple options on this. So again, I feel like I built this into the budget with the paving here. What can we do up to 40,000, and that's kind of our bid limit that we would use there. And again, not knowing what it would cost to do a mile. That's worst case comes back and says we can do 50 feet. Obviously, middle of that. The other one would be to solicit bids to figure out what would it take to get the road deck up to the existing, and it wouldn't include the new overlay, because I believe with Hinkle we have to use them high for overlay for general asphalt jobs. Yeah, so we would continue to use Hinkle to do, and they do a good job, not a problem. Additional considerations, perhaps we can work directly with the construction contractor. We would have some legwork, like where water lines are, some of those type of things. We're well within the right-of-way of the road. Another one would be, and it would be more costly because this is a consultant back to our HR stuff, actually work with them to put a work package together that would be more detailed, get all the lines, everything done, and they would give that to a contractor, and the contractor would go make it happen. So that's another option. An alternative here, and this would be, again, if we had won the lottery ticket, I suppose, but there is this called full depth reclamation here. It's a really cool tool. This is like a $750,000 rotor tiller, so it goes up and just chews the whole road up, puts it out the back as a new base, and you start over. I did talk to a guy. They've done this in Louisville. This job was actually down in Jefferson County. There's an outfit that does that. So yeah, that's a little bit more costly. It's quite a bit more. But the life expectancy for a road like this, for a normal road with typically high traffic, is 15 plus years, which we don't see. So with a low traffic road, you could try to get 20 miles easy. Those type of things. So that's something that's probably not feasible for us, but there may be some places. So longer term, obviously, the idea would be to take these learnings, because again, this is not something we've kind of ventured into a lot of actually looking to widen our roads. I know I hear you live on Boone Road. I hear a lot of people talk about Boone Road.
That's the new stuff going on this week, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so there, yeah. So there are lots of opportunities. I'm sure Benji, you probably get a few on your edge of the county. At your edge of the county. So that's what I wanted to just get out here for some discussion and figure out how we move forward with doing this to actually make it happen. So, thoughts, comments, how do you want to proceed? I guess Gino, if you got any thoughts, I missed anything specifically?
I don't say, you need to do a consultant. of course, that road's looking to get paved anyway, so even if we did the road widening ourselves, you know, they say, you know, we need 12-inch base, and that's great, you know, widen it pretty good, you know.
Yeah.
We do got the tools to do that, you know, and then OVA come in and pay, you know, yeah. Well,
I would like to make a recommendation that Nick looks over our road specifications. We added width to that road specification, because that's not in there in any way, shape, or form. That states that you've got to be 16 foot or 18 foot or 15 foot or whatever that is specified in that specification, and then we move it forward. The other things is a time delay on when we do take them over at 6 months after inspection, and then they re-inspect them 6 months. That's not in that specification. So I would like Nick to do that, and then we follow up with this right here. I would like to have a copy of that presentation if possible.
Yeah, I'll send you.
If I can run it off or whatever.
Oh, okay, I'm a little confused then. I mean, I understand, I'll look at the road specs, and if there's things that need to be fixed in it, or we need to clarify, but that really doesn't affect Stafford Bridge.
No, it doesn't.
Because it's already in the county road.
It's already in the county road, but it does it may be with the new specifications and we're adding to the road to make it wider, what our width is going to be, 15 foot or 16 foot. So we do not have that nowhere that I know
It was
of.
one of the grandfather ones.
Yes.
Well, and I've looked at other counties, they basically rank their roads up into different classifications, just like the state does, arterial roads or secondary or whatever. And it dictates what the road width has to be.
And I can remember back when that road, Stafford Bridge, was a gravel lane going across there. And remember when Boone Road was a gravel lane going across there, and basically when they took them, you know, might be able to attest to this, is that they basically run down, graded them down and put asphalt basically up on top of them. And they re-asphalt them a couple of different times. It's gotten high shoulders on them and different things, especially spots of Boone Road. So, but that would be, I would like Nick to do that for us, and then we can come back and then move forward with.
Well, I guess what I just want to make sure is we don't delay, because here we are in September, you know, it's time, again, kind of Benji's point, we've been in this stuff for how long, 2.5 years plus now, and time marches on very, very quickly. Spring will be here before we know it. I just want to keep things moving, I guess, so, you know, can we start these conversations with people? Can we start looking at options to actually realize that we can actually do something in the spring, as opposed to just.
Well, I would
so far,
definitely move forward and try to have our show before we put it in the spring or spring next year's budget. Like moving forward with all this stuff. Or start working on it in the spring. Have our bids and quotes on how to move forward with it for next year.
My biggest question, I guess, with this very specific project is the way Scott has kind of laid it out here, and I think Scott's done a good job in a very practical way of laying it out. But I don't even know where we would begin to put this out for bid as we stand here today.
No.
Yeah, because if you've got multiple widths and multiple accommodations to make instead of a standardized width going down through there, then there's no way to bid that. I mean, there's no way to put a bid specification out there. If we say we want it done for this mile length, according to county road specs, and the road bed has to be how many ever feet wide, regardless of what the path is, then yeah, you can bid that.
Right, sir.
Otherwise, you're gonna need, as Scott said, you're probably gonna need an engineer to say, okay, we're gonna go 14 feet here, we're gonna cut it back to 12 here, you're gonna have to bridge this and do this, and put these many culverts in. You're gonna have a very specific bid specification package to put out there, or else the contractors are gonna be bidding blindly, and quite frankly,
That's not.
you would get an astronomical bid, because they're gonna have to cover their butt of what they're gonna get.
And a lot of change orders.
You're gonna get a lot of change orders, which I hate change orders.
That's the reason I like to have that width with that specification. So we know when we bid this out that it's gonna be 15 foot or 16 foot.
But even in spite of that, there's places we won't be able to go to 16 safety. So we're gonna have, because the spec, there's gotta be allowance for terrain and everything else. So perhaps if we're talking to this engineering consultant, we're gonna get 3 different companies and do a request for proposal, potentially we could talk to them as well.
True.
And get their
But we
insight.
let them know up front. But the minimum would be 16 foot unless we have, or 15 foot or whatever we decide. And then we might have to narrow it down to a 14-foot spot on some location.
Or you do it, we're gonna maximize the width up to a maximum of 16 feet where we can. We can
Yes.
only go to 15, that's okay. So if we can get these 3 companies in, maybe we can talk to them about this and get their insight.
Mark, do you have a question?
If I can address the court, I'm very passionate on another scale. Nick, you did a very good job of showing the presentation. And I thank everybody listening today, but I wasn't planning on speaking, but as I look at this, safety
True.
was not addressed.
True.
And maybe it wasn't, I missed it. But
It's the basis of this, apology for not being here. That's the primary reason for doing
But
it.
I know our neighbors, myself, my wife was run off the road and had quite a bit of damage, almost flipped it all over. Truck coming down the hill, Stafford Ridge. Neighbors almost got run over. Mailwoman, had to get off the road because of the trucks and all. And I appreciate that we're expanding at Stafford Ridge, but I want to make sure that we look at the safety aspect, because if we don't widen that road, God forbid, somebody's going to get seriously hurt or even.
Yeah, and you're right, Mark, that's the premise of the rule.
I wanted to address that because it bothers me that somebody close to me, I care about my Stafford Ridge neighbors. And I sure don't want my Stafford Ridge neighbors, my wife and myself, or my grandkids.
True. And I understand
I
that.
just had one grandkid have a wreck, turned side by side on the Stafford Ridge Road.
We want to make sure
Because it
it's
was
safe
wide
all the way
enough.
around, even for fire EMS and whatever has to come up through there, because if the road gives away or they have to get over, somehow it's getting over in a car or a truck is one thing, getting over in a fire truck and a ambulance is another thing. So, I know people will yield right away for one of them, but still we don't want one of them to have to run over there. So I agree with you 100%. Safety is a big issue. Safety is a big issue on native farm. My background's all in safety stuff anyway. So.
I just wanted to say that, and I appreciate you listening to me.
Well, I
I
appreciate
didn't want to
it.
upset anybody, but I wanted to bring it
No,
up.
don't anybody out there think we don't want to do this, because we do. We know our roads are narrow, we have problems with them all the time, but we got to do this the right way. Because if we don't do it the right way, then we're gonna go back the next year and year after try to repair what we failed to do. But if we do this right the first time, then whoever comes behind us then has this issue to deal with. So, we're all in for widening roads, believe me. We've got a couple of my districts that do widening, but this is something we can do, look forward to doing in the future, to make all of our county roads better for everybody that has to pass on, so.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to me.
Okay. I need a motion at this time to go into executive session
So moved.
Second.
for legal.
You're not up yet, but just to go on and get a cost out there as far as. Yeah, I mean, that's something I'd go back to. It's not that much money. Yeah, but, all right. Yeah. So y'all, thank you.
All in favor, say aye. Okay. Need a motion.
Back here.
We have a motion by Clay, second by Ben to come out of executive session. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion to adjourn.
No.
Folks.
Senator would like to give us a little update moving forward, so.
Thank you, Gus, for that. Morning, y'all. I'm Mark Shunk with the Senate Facility Partners. Just want to give you a quick briefing and update on where we are on the two projects, the energy savings contract and the clock tower renovation. We're going to start the GESC work next week, but it's work out of talking on lighting, so we'll get going next week on that. I'll get with Mr. Rick on timing and what have you. Just want to keep posted that we are actually engaged in movement on that one. Second, on the clock tower, we have kind of narrowed down 3 specialty companies, CM type firms that specialize in these renovations for the clock tower. And we've given them RFPs to get their qualifications backgrounds and some pricing structures on some drawings that were developed by the architect. I just brought up a sample of those just to show you guys what the detail is. These will be not the end all for them to build their pricing models on, but we do want to pick one. 2 are from Louisville, 1 is from Northern Kentucky, so they're all within an hour of this facility here, and they are familiar with it, which is good. But from that, then we're going to get some, I would say 85–90% type pricing level, and then come back to you all in a work session. It earliest would be the next one in September, but probably more like first one in October to go through the details, all the way from Roman numerals on the clock to the rail, the things that so we can get the final, okay, this is exactly how we want it, and then they'll go price it, and then we'll get a timeline to start. So we're making progress. I think feel good about the people we're talking to. It's a little more in depth than I originally anticipated. I was hoping we'd be in work session today, but I want to do it right. So we've got some good people, and it's going to take some time. Then we're going to get sure and put it on the final. And hopefully we can be back into the contract stage by the end of October. But at least you have the budget amount that you've been looking for in a really true form, probably the first week of October. So just want to give you that quick update. Appreciate your time, and good to see you all. And just want to let you know we're rolling on it.
Thanks, Stuart, for coming and doing this. And I asked Stuart, Ryan, at our last meeting, to come to try to either give us some kind of written update or an update of what's going on and how things are moving. So, I should have put it on my comments, but I'm sorry about that. So, any other things, I will be going to our Northern Kentucky Ads annual meeting here at 11 or so today. So, that's it. Yeah, I think county. So, I don't have anything. Has anybody got anything else you need to bring up? Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion to adjourn.